Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to Awakening a Child, where you manifest with Renick. And today I want to talk about the end state technique. It's a lecture by Neville Goddard in 1968. End state technique is basically talking about using an imagination to get to the feeling or the mood or the state of the wished fulfilled. So, according to Neville Goddard, and they went further to say that everyone will say yes with what is written in Mark 10:27, that with God all things are possible. With God all things are possible. So, that is to say that it separates man with God. And my purpose today is to show you that we are not separated, that we are not two. That God actually became man, that man will become God. And the reason for my claim is John chapter 1 verse 14, where it says that, and the word was made flesh and dwell among us. The actual context there is dwell within us. Dwell within us. The reason why it was written there, dwell among us, is to show that God did not choose any particular person to dwell on. He did not choose any prophet, pastor to just dwell on. In this our generation, God chose to dwell in every one of us. Not to say with God all things are possible, but in Mark, he went further to say all things are possible to he that believeth. So will you dare to believe and assume that you are the man or the woman you want to be? It's just like, for example, you are looking for money to start up a business. Then you go to the end stage whereby you assume in your imagination that you have already started the business, that the money you are seeking for has come and you've actually opened the business. Then you see you in that office, see your customer patronizing you. That is what it's meant by end state. So, dwelling. Who is dwelling? I am the one dwelling. And as long as I decide to dwell in that state, I will objectify whatever thing I'm dwelling on into my word, into the stream of space. How do I test myself? If I know that Christ is the power of God and Christ dwells in me, and I find Christ to be my wonderful human imagination, then I'm gonna use it to get whatever thing I want. I'm gonna use it to get whatever thing I want. You see, Christ is the internal body of everyone. That means then everyone must be myself push out. Do to someone what you wish them to do to you. Is like a golden rule. I'm gonna see you, I'm gonna hear your voice in my imagination, and I'm gonna tell you that if maybe you are sick, I'm gonna see you heal. I'm gonna tell you in my imagination that you are healed. I'm so happy to see you healed. I'm so happy to see you active. And I will also see you corresponding. I'm telling me that, yes, God has done it, that you are strong, you are healed. That instead of teaching you how to get fish, instead of giving you fish often, I have to teach you how to get fish. And most of the time, you may not know. I use my imagination to help you, like my friend help one of his friends to get a job after he lost the job. You see, a writer, Mr. Roberts, first, he wrote for the magazine, he said, our forefathers do not believe in the future. Say they believe it in. So believe it in is different from believe in. See, they believe it in. That is to say, they assume. Since the internal body of man is an imagination, they use an imagination to live in the future. That is when you believe it in. You bring the feeling of the wish fulfilled. And if you dwell in it, it will not take time. It's going to be standardized in the screen of space. Like Shakespeare wrote, said in the Julius Caesar, he which is was wish until he were. So your desire is giving you a direction. In this end state technique, we are asking you to use your imagination to get the feeling of the wish fulfilled, like my brother Victor did. And with just signature, a house was willed to him, and the only thing he spent was about $50,000, and later sold the house for about 840,000 US dollar. Back then in 1924. Like our mother knew this. He married to someone his name was not known anywhere. But my mother would normally tell us that, don't you know you are Goddard? Don't you know you are Goddard? And today our family is known because of my mother assumption, my mother concept, my mother belief. So if you want to get anything fast in this life, this is the best technique you can use to get it fast. And before I go into silence, can you give me a second to say wow, wow, wow?